Hi, hey, hello, how y'all doing? Welcome back to the channel. Some of y'all this might be the first video you've seen me with this whole get up on, that you've came from the Casull build. And there's a reason for that. It's mainly because my line of work, they're a little secretive about us probably showing our faces. I don't know, I might be overthinking this, but I'm just going to play it safe for now because I can't afford to lose my job. So, I just wanted to formally say thanks to the people that have been following along and watching. As of you know, probably don't know, but I've been taking count of it. I broke over 100 subs, which isn't much for a lot of people, but for me it is. So genuinely thanks for being interested in hear what I'm doing here, with just between my shooting my guns and doing this whole Casull build. So thanks for that. For the time being, as I said in the last one, it's gonna be a while before I make any major updates on the Casull. So between now and then, I need to put some stuff out there because I feel like I at least owe y'all that much to keep you entertained. So figure between now and then, just be doing some shooting videos because I do have a pretty decent collection and I want to just shoot. You know, doesn't hurt to get on the range and sling some lead every now and then. So again, thanks for everything, and I'm going to continue on. So I was going to try and do some little intro thing, but again, I don't think of anything. So I'm just going to get a little bit of shooting with this. This is my Scorpion Evo 3. Go over the history of it, showing the details of it front to back, and just doing some shooting. So thanks a lot, and stick around, and we'll go ahead and get into it. So stick around. Hi, hey, hello, how y'all doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing another video on a gun in my collection. This one is, you'll have seen it probably on the channel before when I did my sub 2000 video. This is my CZ Scorpion Evo 3 Plus. Nice little 9mm blowback PCC. Fun little thing to shoot. This one's actually, well, it's a pistol because of this whole ordeal down here. But yeah, nothing fancy done to it. All I have is this little Crimson Choice red dot I picked up pretty cheap just to have one to put on it. And it does a good job. The only thing I like about it, it's not bright. It's not super bright like it's out here. Cloud cover on a nice day, and you can hardly see it. And you can see it enough to shoot with it, but it's not super easy to find. But regardless, yeah, so today is what we're talking about. We're doing a shoot with it and just going over it and what I think of it. So yeah. Stick around, we'll go ahead and do that. First, we'll do the history section. Give you a little bit of a background to the history of this thing and how it came to be, so let's go and do that first. Welcome to the history section now, where we talk about the history of the Scorpion Evo 3. Now, I'm going to go ahead and be honest with you, there's not a whole lot here, given the fact that the Evo 3, as we know, was adopted in 2009, so there's not a lot to talk about. But what little there is, we're going to go ahead and discuss. I'm not going to go into super big detail. If you want a more detailed breakdown on the history of the development of the Evo 3, Forgotten Weapons made an excellent video talking about that. I would go watch that. I'm just going to give you a quick synopsis of it, as well as talk about its pop culture and utilization. So let's go ahead and jump straight into that. So, the Evo 3 is the spiritual successor to what is now known as basically the Evo 1 project, which was the VZ61. That VZ61, which most people think of, it's the one that was utilized, the 32 ACP machine pistol that was used by Czech tankers. Later on, they would go to try and modernize it. This is around the early 2000s by showing off what they called the VZ68, which was a elongated 9mm conversion of the VZ61, also known as the Evo 2 project, which was basically a failure on arrival because it was way too expensive to make, it was too heavy, it wasn't what they wanted. So they would look into another company that was making their own SMG, which would now be known as Lago. That Lago, the same one who makes the Lago Alien pistols, and would bring them in, and their main owner would be their head designer, and they would tweak the design, utilizing the heavy use of polymers to make the gun lighter and more cost-effective, and generally is pretty successful in doing that, because after they ended up leaving the project, CZ would make a few more changes, make it a little bigger, and by 2009, what we know nowadays as the Evo 3 would be adopted, not just by the Czech military, but it would also be exported and used by a substantial amount of foreign countries, like that of Argentina, Colombia, Egypt, Finland, Indonesia, Malaysia, Romania, Turkey, and Ukraine, among various others, be it in the form of either police forces or private security, even some military forces too. It's not a super old gun, so there's not a whole lot to in terms of pop culture use, but there is some pretty substantially acknowledgeable uses of it. For example, it's in a few different shows like Walking Dead and Supernatural, but it's a lot more popular in some video games. Some of the more popular games that it showed up in being ones like Black Ops 2, Arma 3, Battlefield 4, Rainbow Six Siege, and Modern Warfare 2019, among others. That's pretty much it on the history. Let's go ahead and jump into the rest of the regular video. Welcome back from that exhilarating history lesson on the CZ Scorpion. So, back to it. We're going to showcase this thing front to back. Why not? So, this one is the 6-inch barrel version with this faux suppressor on the front. Shoots pretty nice. Not a whole lot of kick to it for how short it is. Recoil's very manageable. This thing does a decent job about it. It's kind of nothing too crazy going on, though. Moving back, we got this little hand stop. This comes on it from the factory. Got M-lock slots all around this thing at the 3, 6, 9. Moving back, we got the charging handle. On this side, it actually can be ambidextrously swapped, so I'm going to take the mag out for you real quick just to show. But you can also lock it back. As you saw in the video, I did a little bit of an HK slap with it, which is totally possible. And you can do it on both sides, so you can take it apart and put the charging handle on the right side if you're a lefty. But I'm not, so I'm not going to do that. So, moving back here, got your mag well. Got this little bit of a flare to it. Makes it nice and easy for reloading. No issues there. There's a little 20 rounder that they came with. I do like these. These are very solid. I got some 30 round UTG, or 29 and 5/8 round UTG mags that I use. But I'm not using these. But these are definitely more of a vibe. Just the way they look. I think it looks pretty good. Moving up here, we have some pick rail. It's plastic. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not going to lie to you. I wish it was metal that was like bolted in, but it's not. It's plastic. Doesn't seem to be deforming too bad, but it's just something to be skeptical of. I wouldn't over tighten these things, you know, don't give it 3 ugga-duggas, maybe just 1 or 2. And it should be plenty enough, which on top I said I have this Crimson Trace red dot. Nothing fancy, super basic. Just something to have on there, because all my other stuff's being used, and I saw this out in the store, and I was like, I'll get it, just to have one on there, so. Got that taken care of. We do have our sights, which I did skip past that, my bad. So we do have a front sight and a rear sight that are on the gun. The rear is a collection of various style peeps that you can rotate to different sizes. Here, let me get it. Can't even see that red dot, it's not even that bright. But you can rotate these to different sizes. This is the most open one right here. But yeah, they're on there. I'll leave them on there just in case. Here, we back down on the mag well, have your mag release, which this is what differentiates this version from the regular Scorpion Evo 3. 3 Plus, which I like it a lot better for this reason, they changed the mag release system. So on the original Evo, they have this paddle down here, which is down the bolt release, was your mag release. It was a little hinge that you push down and that would pop that out. Didn't really like that. I never had one. I shot one before. I didn't really like it. But they switched it out now with this nice little ambidextrous AR style mag release. So you see this notch right here, and it just slips right in, and then you just push the button, it pops right out. And you can do that from the other side too, so even for you lefties out there, it is very much a possibility to drop it down from both sides, which is pretty nice. Let's see. Other than that, we got your selector, like a 45, about 30, 40 degree throw. Not super crazy, but it does the job, and it's nice and solid, and it is ABU as well. So use your thumb on that or your finger. I use my thumb. Then moving back here, we got this grip. I do like the grip on this. It's a very good, solid feel to it. Trigger's a trigger. Doesn't do anything too crazy. I will go ahead and demonstrate the trigger for y'all just in case you want to see it. So it's like a 5. It's a little heavier than I'd like it to be, but I'm not going to complain. Release is pretty short though. Take back up. There we go. It's okay. Not great. Could be better. They do sell aftermarkets as far as I'm aware, but I don't have enough issues with this. I'm just going to leave it as it is. And then finally moving back here, we have the brace. Now, this one came with a flat cap on it when I first bought it because it was a pistol. Still is a pistol, but now it has this nice little brace on it. So, brace is this the Scorpion style brace, which I do like. It definitely makes it look a lot better. You can fold it. So, do you have that possibility? It doesn't have anything to hold it. It's just held in by friction, but you can slap it out and lock it in place really quick. So, it does have that going on. And it does have QD there for your slings. I don't earn about slings, so I'm not worried about it. So yeah, that's pretty much the long and short of it, at least from the outside. And we're going to bust this thing open and show you the inside. It's just a basic blowback. There's nothing too fancy about that. So we're going to go ahead and get into shooting it now. So let's jump over and do that real quick, shall we? All right, so I figured we'll go ahead and get started with a little 20 rounder I got. This is the one that came with it. I do like the way these look. I have these UTG translucent ones too, and they're okay, but these are a little nicer looking. So go ahead and do an HK load first. So we'll do it and slap it, lock her back, rock and roll. Shoots pretty good. Not much recoil, as you can tell there. And it locks back on empty. You can drop that little paddle right there. There you go. Go and get another mag load real quick. All right, now we got these 29 and 7/16 round capacity UTG mags. They work pretty well. They're not that expensive either, so I do like that. I don't have any of the mag pulls. I was going to get some, but they were the regular Evo 3, so they wouldn't lock in, which I do want to say that too. If you get the Evo 3 Plus, make sure you have Evo 3 Plus mags, because it will not take Evo 3 mags. And Evo 3 will take 3 and 3 Plus, but not the other way around. A rectangle's a square, but a square is not a rectangle. So, it is what it is. Anyway, let's go ahead and do this one the proper way now. So, another thing too, these mags fully loaded. They're a lot better about shoving in. Those other ones you have to fight them in, but either way, let's go ahead and do it. Not their best trigger, but it does the job. Got a few more rounds left. Let's just unload it. And there we go. All right. Let's do a few drills just for the fun of it and see what happens. All right. Let's go and do some drills here. I got my beeper on me. See what it can do. What kind of splits we got with this thing. I don't expect it to be super great, but we'll just give it a few and see what happens. So, let's go and try it. drop. 591, not terrible. Try it again. .511. I didn't hit it this time. I was trying to see if we can get 2 consistent hits on it. .514 with a hit on both of those. All right, we'll see what I can do now. Couple more. If I can get under 5 seconds, I'll be pretty happy. .454. That's the best one. I'm gonna try maybe another 1 or 2, but I don't think I'm gonna beat that. .375. I missed the first shot, but the speed was definitely there. Let's see if I can hit both of them one more time. Let's see. .338. All right, that's probably the best I'm gonna do. Let's got another 5 shots here to see what she does. All right, that's been today's video. Doing a little bit of shooting, having some fun with the Scorpion. Again, appreciate everybody for watching. We're slowly starting to move up a little bit. Like I said earlier, we broke the 100 sub market, or 100 sub cap, which is very much appreciated. Definitely not going unnoticed, I'll tell you that much. And thank you for watching. So, like I said, Casull updates are going to be few and far between for the time being, but until then, I'm going to do some more shooting stuff, maybe some other series. If anybody's got some pretty cool ideas on some stuff they want me to try, you know, leave some ideas. I'm always open to try new things out. Speaking of trying new things out, actually, I've had some pretty decent recommendations from some people who are watching about changes to the Casull to be made. One user in particular brought up the idea of taking something similar to the magazines that the Kunin 357s use, but have a hinging butt plate to offset the rim of the cartridges being a problem. So that user, I can't remember your name off the top of my head. I'll pop it up on screen here just for a thank you. And definitely going to take some recommendations. Stuff like that does help. Like I said, this is something I'm trying to get into. I have experience doing some gunsmithing stuff on the side, but nothing too extreme as building something from the ground up. But anyway, recommendations are being noted via either the form of stuff on the Casull or channel specific stuff. I take either one, be honest. So like I said, thanks for watching. I genuinely appreciate all the support so far, especially with the Casull. And that's pretty much it for this one. Hopefully you stick around, continue to watch the next stuff, and until then, I'll see you all later. See ya.